the show right now.
You're gonna zipline directly into the harpoon?
Yeah,
What do you know about planes?
I know a lot about planes.
Buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws in this country work anymore.
I'm just saying, man, I blew up something yesterday I definitely shouldn't have blown up. Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio. We're saving the underground music scene. My right, Shani.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ style. You can join us anywhere you go with the free Live 365 app, or you can go to WSRRradio.com, of course. It's our homepage. The text line's open the entire show and 24/7, 216-859-8699. 24/7 wasn't part of that number.
You know,
No. But 365, also not part of that number.
No, yeah, 216-859-8699.
Yeah.
I never remembered that number, and now the only way I do is when you guys did it and Shane only said 86. Because it was like, it was, Style said 216-859, and then you went 86, and then you went 99.
I do remember that, yeah. Okay, now I do remember that.
Guys, what's going on with boneless chicken? What's going on with chicken and their bones?
I want to clarify.
Do chicken have bones or not? All right, I'm very confused coming into this recording session.
Show me a boneless chicken.
Yeah.
Show me one boneless chicken.
Show
and
me
then
a
tell me
wiggly-
this is natural.
Show me a wiggly chicken, no bones in it at all.
This is the future of farming right here. We talk about fucking the meme of, is this a ham, was it produced? What's the other word I'm looking for?
Ham produced?
That's the other,
Is
not
this
produced.
pizza boneless?
Not this pizza boneless. But, what's the other word for produced?
You telling me chicken fried this rice?
Shrimp fried this rice, actually.
Whoever did it.
Processed is the word I'm looking for. The fucking meme of, is this ham processed? And it's the dude going on a monologue about, this is an 8x8 inch cube of ham with no bones, dyed pink. You think this came naturally from an animal? I want to go to a farm now because they make like genetically modified pigs for
GMOs,
bacon.
baby.
They make GMO pigs for
Yeah,
bacon because
yeah.
they're fatter.
Fat big piggies,
Yeah.
actually.
And like, I'm assuming they do the same thing for chicken, but I don't think they've made them boneless.
No, dude, they do that with any kind of animal that we consume.
Oranges?
It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they really pump up those oranges. They really...
I pump up the jam.
Bump it
Ooh.
up.
Wow.
No, okay, so boneless chicken wings, right? That's where we're at.
Yeah.
We all
guess.
brought this story today.
Yeah, it's a 3 for 3. That's
Ethan sent me this story.
That's a 4
specifically.
for 4. Oh, my God.
Fuck, dude.
Are we at Wendy's?
One more, we'll have a biggie bag.
Hey-oh.
Not sponsored by Wendy's,
But
we'd
we'd like to be.
They
Yeah.
have boneless wings, right? Well,
They
chicken
have-
nuggets.
They have boneless chicken nuggets, and they have...
I hate bone-in chicken nuggets, let me tell you.
They have...
Those fuckers ain't worth it.
They have boneless saucy nuggets.
Yeah, they
now.
do. It's so wings. So
I
boneless
haven't
wings.
tried them, and I don't think I will.
The reason I was sent this, well,
Yeah.
you were sent it too in the same message,
Yes.
was we've had an argument in Discord before. Me, you, my brother Ethan, and the Pidge
Mhm.
have gone back and forth on our boneless wings. And he is very much like, he was shattered that I ate boneless wings for some reason. I'm like, yeah, I prefer boneless wings because they're not messy. You can eat them with a fork down the
Yeah.
gullet. And he was fucking shattered that I ate boneless wings for some reason.
It was a cataclysmic event in that
It was
Discord
canon.
call.
It was nothing's
was
been the
canon.
same since.
Yeah, no, that was our Thanos.
A lot of beers have been drank since.
That was our Thanos snap for sure.
But because of that, we were sent the story, and now Ohio, the Supreme Court of Ohio.
Yeah.
Shout out fucking Ohio.
This is, I know Ohio itself, the word is a meme. We'll get more into that in the next segment.
Don't even skibbity on my Riz right now, dude.
But you're the Glizzler. as a
Whoa!
dealer.
All right.
Ohio Supreme Court, in the most meme case of the century, has ruled that boneless wings do not dictate that the bones will be removed from the wings.
Yeah. Boneless wings do not have to be bone free. What the tit fuck?
Isn't
Are you
that
kidding
just,
me?
like, false advertisement?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
so
that's...
tell me how the story started. Go ahead.
So this man, unsure of his name, I don't have it.
Michael Berkheimer.
Yeah. He...
Swear to God, Berkheimer.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Berkheimer.
Well,
Berkheimer?
he
Berkheimer?
went to
Berkheimer?
eat some wings.
Michael Sorry.
He went to eat some wings,
Yeah.
and
Boneless wings.
Boneless.
He ordered boneless wings, and he
Under the guise that there would be
No bones.
bones.
no bones.
No bones about it.
fully consumable.
Oh.
That's what they need to title them. Fully consumable
Oh
wings.
yeah, partially consumable wings. Oh no.
FCW. Fully
Yeah,
consumable.
baby.
I'm not talking about Florida Championship Wrestling. I'm talking about fully consumable wings,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
So he was under the assumption that his boneless wings were fully consumable,
Of course.
and then fully consumed them.
Yes.
A
As one does.
couple days later, he was unable to keep food down. He was vomiting. He went to the ER, and
Bad
he
wings.
found out that he had cut open his esophagus with a chicken bone.
You know how confused you'd be?
Can I? This excerpt really.
Go ahead.
The court on Thursday ruled that, quote, boneless wings refers to the cooking style and is not to be taken literally. The 4-3 ruling was peppered.
4-3.
The 4-3 ruling was peppered with dissent. One judge calling the majority opinion, quote, utter jabberwocky.
It is. I
A
agree.
court judge in this ruling, which he is valid in his.
Yeah, no, this is utter jabberwocky.
This is utter jabberwocky that boneless wings is only referred to as. When you told me that, I can't wrap my brain around the fact that that is the truth.
So, okay, my issue with this, because I understand the whole consensus is, well, it's not boneless in the sense that there's no bones. That's the... First of all, what does that mean, cooking style? You're not removing the bones.
Yeah, right.
You buy them frozen.
How do you
Is it-
get any? How do I get a How do I get a boneless wing style pizza?
I don't know, Shane.
That's what I'm saying though. That's what That's what they mean though. It's
Can
like
I
this
have-
wing is cooked boneless wing style.
Right, no, that's exactly what it implies. Is boneless pizza is a thing now.
Right.
Can
You
I
can
have
make it that
bone-in wings cooked boneless style?
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
Probably
Does-
not.
I
is it
don't
like
know.
the skin?
Yeah,
'Cause
what
they
is-
do have different
I think it.
textures.
I think almost it would have to refer to the content, like the substance of what is in the meat, what the meat is.
It
If
is
it's-
Bones?
boneless meat
It is boneless meat, right? But that's
that
but
may
then,
contain bones.
But then I wonder if it's still the court ruling that it's not to be taken literally. Like it has in writing that it's not to be taken literally.
this whole law is literally just so people don't get sued for false advertising.
100%.
That's the only reason it
It's
exists. Let's be
saving.
clear.
It's saving like restaurants
Yeah.
and businesses who might get sued for having accidental wing scrappings in their and accidental
Yeah.
bone scrappings in their boneless wings.
I
Which-
mean,
let's-
there was a whole thing with Taco Bell like 4 or 5 years ago where there were
I have found bones
Bones.
in my Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Let
they
me
were
just say that
chicken
right now.
bones.
I have found fucking bones in my Taco Bell.
in
Right.
the shredded chicken.
Right.
It's gross.
It's yeah.
I didn't sue him. I should have, but it's gross.
No, but that is the kind of thing of like now under this ruling, shit like that is protected
Yeah.
by law. Like you would lose even if you did go to sue, you would lose.
And that's the thing is, I'm totally on this dude's side. Like, he had every
Right.
right to sue. He should have won this case.
Right.
He ordered boneless wings, and not only was there a bone, it physically injured him. Like, at the very least, I'd be suing for my fucking medical expenses.
Yeah.
You
And
know-
the fact that he lost this because four out of 7 judges said, nah, it's just a style of cooking. Cook me something else boneless style.
Cook me something else boneless. No, specifically quote boneless wing style. Boneless wing, not just boneless, but boneless wing.
Next time you go to the Olive Garden.
ask for your pasta boneless wing style.
Boneless wing style fettuccine, baby.
What the fuck?
Next time I'm at the movie theater, 2 bowls of soup, boneless wing style.
Yeah.
Fucking give it to
Yeah.
me. Let me see how it's prepped.
Yep. Let me see the boneless wing style freaking cabbage.
The fact that it... I don't know how this was let go here. Like, this is the extent of the fucking justification is, it's a style of cooking, and it was left at that. And elaborate the style of cooking then.
Yeah, and I
That's
wonder.
not an excuse.
So I wonder if the literal quoting of it in the ruling is "and is to not be taken literally," because
Ooh.
that is a very interesting.
Yeah.
That means that it's just a figurative term of, well, it looks like a boneless wing, and the public knows what a boneless wing should look
Yeah.
like. So when you see this presented to you this way,
It seems like
It's
they're arguing the wrong point.
yeah, 100%.
I feel like every false advertisement claim can now be ruled not to be taken literally.
right.
Well, because my thought process, if and I think you're right, that's how the court was
Wording
looking at
it,
this. Yeah. Because in that case, they'd be like, "Oh well, the Impossible Whopper isn't actually impossible,
It's
guys.
possible.
It's right here.
It's
We're
possible,
looking at it.
yeah.
the burger joint down the street that has the largest burger in the world isn't actually the largest. It's not
Right.
literal.
Right.
That's how they're looking at it. When they should be looking at the fact that I ordered boneless wings and there was a bone in it.
This initially took place in 2016. That is
Is that 8 years?
fucking insane.
Is that 8 years?
8
this took
years
to get a
ago.
ruling on?
8 years ago,
8 years ago, this
This-
man ate a boneless wing.
and just now, this year today, around a week ago, he's getting told to fuck off. That's
Also-
so insane.
This guy is definitely in the right. I don't think he's in the wrong by any means. However,
yeah.
very interesting. It took him like 2 days to realize that he ate a bone in his boneless wings
Yeah.
and cut his throat.
Yeah, it took a day or two, and he was like,
Like, you didn't swallow that and go,
my
ooh.
throat feels fine. Yeah, right. You would think if you're chewing it properly, if you're chewing it not
he
like
must have
a...
been inhaling those wings.
Swallowed it whole.
Yeah.
Fully consumable.
Yeah.
Does it say where he was eating these at?
Um...
Because I'm really hoping it's not like a Quaker steak.
Sued Wings on Brookwood is what it's called. Wings on Brookwood.
Well, I've never been to Brookwood.
Yeah, neither have I. I've never been to Brookwood. I'm assuming that's the city.
I'm assuming they sell wings.
Yeah. Hamilton, Ohio is where the
Okay.
place was.
So southeast.
Yeah.
Here's the issue. This should have been a lawsuit on the fucking establishment.
Yes.
This place still
And that's how it should have
exists.
ended. They should have been sued for
It still
quality
exists?
control.
You just looked it up. It still exists.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
still
they won the
exists.
fucking lawsuit. Why wouldn't they exist?
That's so crazy. Yeah, no. Good
well,
point.
you would think since they've been
Are there
spending
reviews
8
in the
years-
gut? Look at the reviews. I wonder
Yeah.
if people are review bombing. them.
Ordered boneless wings, came fully boned.
Thoroughly boned.
4.5 stars.
Let me tell you something, Shane. I've used the term thoroughly boned a few times. Never been about my wings.
Oh man! Unfortunately, that may be the case now. If you were to go to what is it?
Wings on Beechwood, Birkwood,
Brookwood.
Wings on Brookwood.
Rings of Saturn.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wings on Brookwood. That's so fucked.
It should have been a quality control issue.
It's crazy that it took 8 years. It's crazy that.
Well, because you'd think if they were buying quality product, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, right. There needs to be a quality check done on the produce.
Yeah.
Or on like the
Produce too.
not the
Boned celery is an issue,
whoever the person is who is buying the foods,
Yeah.
like the raw materials.
or the distributor.
Yeah, or the distributor, like they need to change distributors, or they need to have that person who's checking the foods or like buying the foods from the distributors fired. I
Because
don't
in an
know.
alternate timeline, the wing place could have turned around and sued the distributor and said, "Well, why the fuck are you selling us boneless wings with bones in
yeah,
them?"
right. This could have been a thing where
I feel like that's the more logical way to do this.
yeah.
Not redefine what boneless wing means.
There were a couple
That's
of
so
warnings
crazy.
in the reviews about boneless wings.
Were there?
Because apparently
Because of this story.
the Supreme Court said that the on the menu they don't have to warn you that the boneless wings may have bones.
May have bone. That's so fucking insane.
I would have just assumed that was the only caveat of the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Would have been like, okay, put a disclaimer on there that not to be taken literally. Boneless wings may contain bone. That was like the bare minimum I thought was going to come out of this, and we don't even get that.
That's so.
It
This
It was
is
just like you
so
have to use your common
crazy.
sense to assume that something that is boneless is going to have bones.
That's so crazy. And I wonder like how many counties stretching out into Ohio this applies to and shit. Like is this the
If I go to
entire
Applebee's,
state of Ohio? Yeah, is this the
It
entire
is, yeah.
state?
It's the Ohio Supreme Court.
Oh my fucking god. 4-3 ruling? Yeah, that's utter jabberwocky. You dumb
Imagine
pieces
you're
of
coming
shit.
from out of state. Imagine you're coming
Ah.
from out of state. You're from Michigan. You're coming to see an Ohio State game or something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, let's get some wings after the game. And you go down to your local
Wings on Brookside.
Wings on Brookside, and you
Brookwood.
get some
Brookwood.
Brook Park, and you get some
Whatever.
boneless wings, and they're fully boned. And you from out of town are going, why do these boneless wings have bones in them? And they're just like, read the sign, pal.
Yeah, imagine like
there is no sign.
waving down your waitress or waiter or whatever and being like, "Hey, just so you know, like I got a boneless wing that had bone in it." And
They're just like, so?
yeah, they scoff. They're like, "Huh, what so?
And?
What's the point?" They scoff at you. What's the point, dude? Why do you even so? What's the big deal, man? Yeah, they're called boneless wings. What did you expect,
What do you
dude?
think? You think wings don't have bones in them?
Come on, man. Have you ever seen a chicken? Look at the fucking wings.
That's really what the argument came down to.
Oh my
In like
god.
the judge's corner in
Yeah.
their chambers. They're like, guys, have you ever seen a chicken without bones? Use your fucking head.
Use your brain a little bit, guys. Chicken has to have bone.
Is that what dictates a chicken?
It has
It's not,
bones.
if it doesn't have bones, it can't be a chicken.
Yeah. I guess so. According to fucking
They're gonna be screwed when we invent
Ohio
boneless
Supreme
chickens.
Court, yeah.
216-859-8699 if you want your bone in. I got the solution.
You figured it out?
I got the bridge that's gonna gap the bone-in people and the boneless people.
Ah, okay. What is it?
Marrow wings.
Oh,
No bone, just
the-
marrow. in
Just
it.
the marrow. It's
Yeah.
chicken, and then there's
Marrow inside. Yeah.
liquid
What if-
on the inside, so
Yeah.
it's a wiggly wing.
Yeah.
What if it's made
Whoa.
with bone broth?
Whoa.
But then you gotta like boil it in the broth, right? You gotta.
This is getting a little too skibbity for my toilet, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Doesn't fucking know.
Guys, I'm scared.
So Skibbity toilet. We did a whole fucking
The fuck?
guys.
I can't believe that we're talking about this
Skibbity toilet.
unironically. Like, we're talking about this.
Let's backtrack real quick,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah, let's give some context
Yeah.
to what's going on.
give some context of what's going on. Skibbity toilet. Anyway,
The Rizzlers here, you know.
like 4 or 5 months ago, we did an entire segment on the fact that we don't understand any of the fucking Gen Z A slang.
terminology used.
Gyat Rizzler, Skibbity
Yeah.
toilet, Ohio.
Yeah.
Phantom Tax.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't understand why Ohio's just
Dude,
like
Ohio's a meme.
Phantom just did something. He just
I
did.
still have never seen this man.
He's done. He lives with Kai Cenat.
what?
Yeah, he
Who?
lives with Kai Cenat, big streamer. But he just did like an advertisement for something big. I think streamers are just surprising. I'm very surprised at how popular streamers are now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
They're
weird.
very much in the main like A-list tier of Hollywood and or not.
Yeah,
A-list,
they're
but,
going
you know,
to like the Met Galas and like stuff
Yeah.
like
there's
that.
a streamer who did an advertisement for the new Fortnite Reload.
There's
like,
the fucking dude who was at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know what his name is.
Uh,
not Logan Paul.
Speed.
Speed.
Yes, he's from Ohio.
It's something else, right? Something Speed.
I show Speed.
I show Speed.
Yeah,
You show Speed.
we all show Speed around here.
Skibbity, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Skibbity. No, but we did a fucking show like 4 months ago about not understanding slang, and here Michael Bay is.
Fully
Understanding.
understanding.
Fully getting the
He's
fucking.
in the know.
He gets the joke.
Dude's
He's
locked
hip with
in.
the kid. He has watched every episode of Skibbity Toilet.
Is it a
It's a
series?
It's a YouTube series. So
I thought
Mhm.
I thought Skibbity Toilet was literally like this image of the Gmod guy head coming out of the toilet. I thought that is what Skibbity Toilet is.
no, it is like an
No.
it is like an ASDF style YouTube series, using Gmod, like using the
Yeah.
Gmod
Engine.
engine, and it is just serialized nothingness.
That does make more sense than to me.
It's off the wall. You know, a dude's head coming out of the toilet is the main character, and so I think the joke really like kicked off when people started memeing on like, oh man, the lore in this is so intricate, and if you look back at Skibbity Toilet season 2 episode 16, you'll notice that this is a callback to shit like that. Is like treating it like the
Yeah,
MCU
yeah.
or something like that.
It's just shit posting.
Right. I think that's where the meme really like took its form
Yeah.
and how big it got and how people use it in day-to-day slang now.
I know I do.
But that's the lore, I guess, on Skibbity Toilet, and now Michael Bay is making a movie about it.
How?
Yeah.
And so he announced this, and it's not only a movie but a TV series as well.
Oh
He's in
my
talks
God,
for
I
both.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And so he
TV and
randomly announced this on like some show, and then everyone's like, "Okay, funny joke." And he's like, "No,
Haha.
I'm in
I'm
talks with
serious.
major studios
I'm in
about
talk with MGM Studios right now
about not only a feature length film but a series for TV."
It's not like that is in my eyes, in the way that I view the world as 24 years old, sometimes online, sometimes chronically online, sometimes not. I think that is the most tone deaf decision that you could make as a director. I think that you have no idea what's going on with what kids who are actually watching Skibbity Toilet want. You're not I don't know. Maybe it'll be popular. Maybe I'm gonna eat my words in a year. But
It reminds me, there's a video on like Instagram and shit that's going around of someone who took Steely Dan's "Reelin' in the Years" and replaced all the lyrics with Gen Z slang. So it's something about yacht and Rizzler and all that shit.
right.
But the top comment on it is always, "I don't think you understand. Nobody who listens to Steely Dan knows what any of these words are, and nobody who knows what any of these words are knows who Steely Dan is."
These two communities aren't ever going to overlap, and if they do, it's a very niche
Yeah.
subgroup. It's a super niche
It's the
subgroup.
Rebel Radio Show.
Yeah, buddy.
Mondays at 5.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I just think that this is not going to.
What do I got to do to get a cameo in Skibbity Toilet the movie?
Dude. Yeah.
Can't be that hard, right?
You gotta
Give
be
us
the
a fuck
Rizzler.
Superman. Let's get a cameo in Skibbity Toilet movie.
This guy has no idea what the fuck he wants for casting. Why not?
I'll be
Hey.
Skibbity. I'll be the Rizzler.
I'll be
I
the
don't-
toilet.
I don't
care.
fucking care.
I mean,
Don't care.
Ohio's a meme. They could just
Yeah.
cast people from Ohio.
We're in
cast me as
Ohio.
Ohio.
I will be. Yeah. I will be Ohio.
If you fucking messaged Michael Bay, if you got his personal number, which
Yeah.
I have,
Yes.
and you message him and you're like, "Listen, dude, I'll be the Rizzler," he would have no idea what any of that means and be like, "All right, if you're interested in the role, let's
let's
do
talk.
it." He's like, "Clearly, this is a vital role in Skibbity Toilet the movie."
Imagine the improv you could do as the Rizzler.
Dude.
I'm the Rizzler.
Dude, let me
Stick out your Giat for me.
I'm in the Michael Bay movie.
let me let you know a little secret.
Yeah.
I improv as the Rizzler every Monday at 5.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, I just can't. I feel like this is something where in 6 months we're gonna talk about how Remember when that was supposed to be a movie
Oh, for
and
sure.
they canned it?
Yeah.
Because it's just there's no way that this gets off the ground. There's no way. If there are other movies,
It will be something.
if they canceled Chris Farley's Shrek, there's God in hell. No, I will not do Skibbity Toilet. I can't stand
I can't believe
this.
we got Skibbity Toilet the movie before GTA 6.
Yeah, dude. I can't stand this.
I think it'll happen. Something will. I don't know if we're getting full length feature length film Michael Bay Transformers CGI explosion.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting all that for Skibbity Toilet the movie, but I think something will come out of this.
You-
Maybe
even
like
if
a
it's
film festival film.
even if
something.
it's like 3 episodes as a season on HBO Max produced by Michael Bay, I think we're gonna get Skibbity Toilet something.
It's crazy that there's even terminology of the Skibbity IP to TV or film.
Yeah.
The fact that you can say, "Oh, the Skibbity IP." Yeah.
Someone's making money off this currently.
Right.
Enough that Michael Bay is interested.
Well, dude, like imagine. I mean, did ASDF or like Epic Rap Battles or anything like that ever get this like I don't think anything ever got this popular.
Yeah.
Where it even got like a TV. I'm trying to think of like an old meme that got a TV show
the
or
only
something.
thing that I can
Like Fred? I don't fucking know.
Fred, that might be the closest.
Fred got like a TV show and movies and
I was gonna
shit.
say Cyanide and Happiness had a show for a little bit that got
yeah,
canceled.
Cyanide and him, and then they had like a.
They have a board game
I was
now.
gonna say a board game, a card game.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was Annoying Orange like
It did have a show. You're right.
Okay, so maybe
I forgot that was a fucking thing.
maybe we're just old. Maybe we're
Yeah.
just
Just
old
old
and damn. What the fuck? Regardless, I don't think that Skibbity
So it
Toilet
will-
being directed by Michael Bay is a good idea.
Well, okay, hang on, because that brings up another interesting point. When Annoying Orange and Fred and shit like that got shows, Smosh had a show and a movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Smosh.
that's true. Smosh had a movie.
Th-
It was in theaters.
Nobody asked for that,
Right.
and the community that liked those properties at the time, us,
Yeah, that was
we didn't want that.
that was marketed towards people like us,
yeah.
and we didn't go see the
no,
Smosh
yeah,
movie.
no one asked for the Smosh movie. No one asked for Annoying Orange the show. And
It's
like
so
it
strange.
didn't hype any of us up of like, oh shit, now I can watch it on TV.
Yeah.
It's not what happened because we
Yeah.
kept watching it on YouTube where it was
Right.
at.
Right.
So like I feel like Michael Bay blocked that part of like the rest
Right.
of us, blocked that part of history out of his memory. Is like, no one's ever done this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's gonna go. I think this will get off the ground, and I think it's gonna go the exact same way. Where in 5 years, everybody will have forgotten about this,
See, here's something too.
and they'll have some weird cameo in it. They'll have like Ryan Gosling in the Skibbity Toilet
Yeah,
movie,
right.
and it'll be John Cena in the Fred movie because that's
Right.
all anyone remembers from that.
To me, this is
Yeah.
adjacent to like I think about how the Angry Birds game got those movies,
I fucking forgot
Oh,
about
yeah.
those
and the
too.
movies were like
With Smosh in them.
super. Well, the movies
weren't bad.
the movies weren't bad, and they were successful. So much so that they got like a sequel, and
Yeah,
there might
a
be
show,
There's
they
now
did a
games
series.
based on the movie.
right games based on the movie that is
Like
based
the-
on the game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, like it's. I guess I don't realize how much.
That happens.
Well, it's now even. Let's take another step back. It's interesting to think about if you want to look at it through that lens, like how much of media today it really just is regurgitated stuff from
Internet culture.
yeah.
internet culture 15 years ago,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Well, all
Super
the movies
interesting.
are the same.
Yeah.
My bad. My voice just
Oh, hey.
decided to quit.
Hey.
All the movies are the same. There's no new movie ideas. It's
Yeah.
just the.
Do you think we're gatekeeping internet culture?
No.
Well,
I think that
so-
internet culture is just really hard. I think it's really hard to capture anywhere else.
Well,
besides
the only reason I say that is because like obviously there's still creators doing shit, but
Right.
for us, like that peak YouTube era was like Ray William Johnson, Smosh, Annoying Orange, all that kind of
Sure,
shit.
sure.
To the point where
Jenna Marbles.
we're nostalgic for that.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where major media companies are bringing that stuff back, like Ray William Johnson's back, and your favorite Martian's back, and Epic Rap Battles are back. Like all this stuff is Smosh is back. All this stuff is
Yeah.
returning and marketed to us now,
Yeah.
like by major companies or
Right,
our
right.
major names again.
Right.
Like, do you think that we are playing a part in why Skibbity Toilet isn't going to get off the ground?
No, I don't think so because I think that
Well,
the
there's a
generation
lot of dumb youth.
I think the generation before us is, believe it or not, a lot louder than us on the internet
That's fair.
specifically.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
so they're only going to be looking at the internet because for feedback and reviews because that's where they know their main audience, target demo is going to be at is on the Instagrams and the TikToks and the X's. And so I feel like it will probably, like, you're probably actually right that it will get off the ground and something will come of this.
I think so.
It's just weird that
I don't think it'll be successful.
No, I don't think it'll be successful at all. I think it'll get canceled
Maybe.
a season in, if not before.
well, if it's a movie, dude, if it's like a big name movie,
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't think it's going to be a movie.
it could be. I don't know. This is crazy.
I don't know. Back to streamers real quick. I heard Mr. Beast has an opening. 216-859-8699 if you want to text in.
For cigarettes. He's out in the car listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
So there's a new Joker movie coming out.
Oh yeah, it's got that girl from Fortnite. I've heard.
First of all, I'm that girl from Fortnite.
Whoa,
Second
you're
of
right.
all,
I'm sorry.
it's got the first lady in it, Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Rum-ma-ma-ma, rum-ma-ma. Doesn't she say that?
She says it
Yeah.
sometimes.
Carry my poker face, poker face. Ma. I love that. I love when she does Fortnite things.
So we're gonna talk about DC for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Joker movie.
DC did get a new logo
They
reveal.
did. It's basically
Very
the
cool.
old logo.
It is, and I like it a lot. It
That's
looks
nice. Nice. They are going back to that super 60s campy.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess more specifically, we'll be talking about two things. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Hang on, real quick. Deadpool spoilers.
Deadpool spoilers.
Anyone listening live?
We're-
Deadpool spoilers.
we're gonna
If you're listening in
spoil Deadpool.
podcast, you should have seen it already.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil Deadpool. Just so you know, don't skip it. Just
But you
keep
can't skip it
listening.
if it's live already.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil it for you. So
And if you're listening in podcast, this is the third segment, so you can't really skip either.
enjoy. But we're gonna be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, and then I want to talk about just kind of the overall Comic-Con was this past weekend, and Marvel had
Big announcement.
A showing.
They had a showing. They were at Hall H. That's their like famous. They go to Hall H and they announce a bunch of big stuff.
God,
so-
I would love to rent out Hall H while Marvel's in town, like before them.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah.
be such a good bit.
Dude, they weren't. Well, that's the reason that this was again that I want to specifically talk about all of Comic-Con and them being at Hall H. They weren't at Hall H the last 2 years. They
Oh,
skipped-
really?
Yeah, they skipped out, and normally that is like you go to Marvel Comic-Con Hall H and you're gonna see something huge, and that's where
Yeah.
the timelines have, or that's where Kevin Feige has done like the
next 6 years of Marvel. Yeah,
he's done that at Comic-Con Hall H every year, and
Oh,
so
that's
that's
cool.
been like,
yeah.
but that they skipped out the last 2 years. So this was a big deal, kind of like bigger than normal deal, and they announced some pretty fucking crazy, utterly jabberwocky stuff.
So where do you want to start with the MCU?
I think we start with Deadpool and Wolverine, just because it's technically first,
Yeah.
and then the other stuff is after.
Yeah.
So we saw Deadpool. Well, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and then you guys saw
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine. And now we've all collectively seen it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of fun fan service cameos. I thought it was good. The biggest thing that because you texted me before you saw
Yeah.
it, and you were like something about the implications that this will have on the MCU, and I was like, actually, it doesn't.
Didn't do much.
Didn't do much for the MCU. There's like one scene in the beginning where he's talking to someone like not even super high up and in Marvel, and
Mhm.
it's supposed to take place before Infinity War.
Yeah.
Is what I saw. It was like 2018, so like before Infinity War, he's trying to like join the Avengers.
Yeah.
And Happy Hogan's like, get the fuck out of here, fuck
Yeah.
you. And that's the only scene that takes place in the MCU. Other than that, it's completely outside in like either in the Void or in the Fox
The Fox dimension.
Yeah, 10-0555, or I don't remember
It's
what.
10 something. Yeah,
I don't remember. But it was really good.
but not the main timeline.
Not the main timeline. A lot of TVA stuff, and
Yeah.
that was cool. And like, even I thought you brought it up on break, the Deadpool going like, is that from Loki season 1 episode 5?
Yeah.
That shit was so
Yeah.
funny because that's totally Deadpool, and that's also like what everyone's thinking. You know,
Right.
we're all like, oh my god, that's alive from. And if you've seen,
The Loki series.
right,
and
if you've seen the
everything.
Loki series, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, this is sick.
So okay, real quick, because I'm just putting these two together in my head.
Mhm.
Logan,
Yes.
the one where Wolverine dies.
Yes.
That is a Fox property. Yeah,
That
or
is
was a Fox property.
Was. Yes.
So, in that in mind,
Yes.
Deadpool, his timeline,
Yes.
all three movies exists in that Fox universe
Yes.
because Dead Logan is part of Deadpool's universe. It gives you the plot to the story of why it's
Right.
getting destroyed.
Correct.
So Deadpool canonically existed in that Logan X-Men timeline,
Correct.
which is very confusing of a timeline because there's like different X-Men and some of it's canon and some isn't, and Hugh Jackman's
Yeah.
always there. But that aside, the only thing really coming out of it, like you said, that has changed is because they're all back in that initial timeline. They're not in
Yeah.
the main timeline. They're
Yeah.
still in the Fox Deadpool timeline.
Yeah.
But it seems like we're going to have a canon Deadpool because they allude to him being in the MCU the whole movie.
Right.
And we're going to have a canon Wolverine, even if he makes a cameo appearance. It seems like these are going to be the Deadpool and Wolverine going into the MCU going
Yeah,
forward.
they-
Till he's
made-
90.
They
Until
made
he's
them.
90.
They made them roommates at the end. I think specifically, my headcanon is that an incursion is when two universes come together, and it's like visually it looks like the two Earths are about to explode because
Sure.
the Earth is like the focal point. So if an incursion is happening, it's two Earths coming together, and that's the plot of Secret Wars. There's a bunch of incursions, and then there's only one planet left, and all the crazy
Yeah.
superheroes have to come together and fight.
Battleworld.
Battleworld, right. My early headcanon theory for that specifically is that it's going to be that world with Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's going to be the main line MCU coming together, and that's how we get them coming over onto like Battleworld and shit.
That makes sense.
It's going to be those two Earths coming
It's
together.
only going to happen once it's begun.
Right.
Okay.
It's once those two worlds start to like have that incursion, they're gonna like hop over, kind of
Gotcha.
like a pirate going from one ship to another. Type
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
shit. Yeah, but that's like a good. That's a good
Yeah, no,
way
it
to-
is.
It's a good way to describe it. But yeah, I think that's how.
I like that.
I think that's how you explain it going forward with like Secret Wars, and how Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Wolverine specifically, get over to the main line. I think is something along those lines.
Well, shit. Okay, that also plays, and this is just a side
Yeah.
caveat here. That also plays for guys that we were talking about off air, not the show. That
Yeah.
comes out this Tuesday.
Yeah.
It also works for characters like Cable, who is not technically MCU. He's in Deadpool's universe.
Right.
We have guys like Colossus, who I fucking love, and I just want
Right.
him in the next canon X-Men.
Right.
He's already there.
Give me that shiny guy.
Wolverine's there. Deadpool's there.
Right.
All right, they're all there.
Yeah.
Put them in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Teenage Negasonic Warhead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. They're all fucking there. Make the X-Men. But all of those characters and IPs can then join mainline MCU. This is the canon primary timeline
Yes.
version.
It's kind of like they have that in their pocket now,
Yeah.
and they're just waiting to pull that card.
Yeah.
You know.
This was probably the biggest setup movie where nothing actually impacted anything in the main timeline.
Right.
But we have options.
Yeah, right. It's like you can see it come. You can see where it's going to go
Yeah.
down the line. You can see how this is going to affect
Yeah.
that, and how that will lead to whatever. Yeah. Gambit was really cool. I enjoyed Channing Tatum's Gambit.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have a movie that came out around 2014,
Mhm.
which would have been like X-Men: Age of Apocalypse and shit like that. So he was supposed to have a mainline Fox X-Men movie.
It was supposed to be when they were doing the origins.
Yeah,
Because it was going to be Wolverine, then Gambit,
Yeah.
then someone else. Yeah.
and they canned it. But like Channing Tatum was super gung ho. They took a cast picture and Channing Tatum wasn't in it, but then they like photoshopped him into it wearing a Gambit shirt,
Mhm.
and you could just tell that he really wanted to be that character.
The fans wanted it.
Right, the fans wanted it, and then it got canned, and the Fox universe kind of like fiddled into nothing.
Yeah.
And then Disney bought them and shit. So he was in limbo for a long time, and I really like that they played that as like he was like, I think I was born in the void or
Yeah.
whatever.
He,
Like,
he existed as a thought in the void.
right,
essentially,
right,
yeah.
because he never had a movie. He never showed up anywhere.
In some alternate timeline,
Right.
as people, he might have been Gambit.
Right, right.
Yeah, we saw Elektra return from the Fox
Oh.
universe.
Elektra was cool. Wesley Snipes' Blade was
Fucking,
cool.
I popped big for Blade.
Yeah,
I
that was
popped
really cool.
The biggest for Elektra. So, side note, Style and I were driving to the movie theater, haven't heard anything about the movie
Right.
yet, and we had a side conversation literally about the old Elektra and
Daredevil.
movies.
Yeah,
And we get there, and one of my favorite superheroes, Elektra, is in this frickin' movie, and I'm like, yes!
yeah, yeah. It was super cool seeing all the.
And of course, we finally got fan service Chris Evans, Johnny Storm again.
Yeah, that was a really cool fake out. That was something I was.
Because it would have worked both ways.
I had a couple things. I was really trying hard this time not to get leaked and not to get
I had
spoiled.
nothing leaked.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
I
me
got
neither.
spoiled pretty hard. I got
The
spoiled
only
about
thing I knew was Ladypool.
I got spoiled about that, and I got spoiled. I opened Reddit, and like, of course, I follow
Never.
the leaks and subreddit, or the leaks and rumors
Yeah.
subreddit. And one of the first things when I opened up Reddit was like that money shot of Wolverine and Deadpool when they come out of the bus together and it's slow mo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool, this is great. Super excited to see this in like 6 hours. But I still had a great time with it. I thought it was a really good movie overall. It was fun. And that's just kind of, I think, what we needed is like a fun,
Yeah.
you know, we're talking about
This movie was basically entirely fan service.
right, entirely fan service, but it was still fun, and like even I think it was approachable to people who you don't have to see.
Sure.
I hadn't seen any of those X-Men movies in years,
Sure.
and even when I had seen them, it was bits and pieces, and I just know famous scenes.
We got
and
old school Juggernauts.
Right.
Shitty Juggernaut.
We got a bunch of old school villains.
Yeah.
Pyro apparently was
Yep,
in
Pyro was
Yeah.
there.
old movies, and there was like the lizard or the guy with the tongue. He
Mhm.
was in. Yeah, all those villains were like from the old X-Men movies, and I thought that shit was really cool too. If it's like if you know, you know. If
Yeah.
you don't, you're not affected by it. You know.
The video they played during the credits was just like backstage scenes of old Fox
with
productions.
Good Riddance, with Green Day,
Yeah.
Good Riddance. That was so good.
So like the whole movie was two things. It was fan service and it was a send off to the Fox line,
Yeah.
the Fox universe,
Yeah.
which was nice because we talk about Marvel IP specifically a lot and
mhm.
Sony a lot too,
Right.
and they don't always play well with each other.
Right.
And it kind of seemed for a long time that it was the same way with Fox.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they're acknowledging.
Like,
you know,
hey, they
all
made
of the, like there's no bad blood between the
Right,
Fox
right.
production or the actors or things like that. Like actors that have never or probably never will be in the MCU going forward are shown in there.
Right,
You know,
right.
we had both versions of Mystique in there. We had, you know,
It's a great homage to the fact that they were making
Yes.
Marvel
Yeah.
movies. Regardless, they still made Marvel
Right.
movies, and we still need to acknowledge that
right.
that's a part of our history too.
wanna
I thought
say-
it was good.
I want to say one more thing before we move
Mhm.
off Deadpool because I know we're getting pressed for time
Right.
already. The only thing that bothered me,
Mm-hmm.
other than no Loki's in the Void, which I get,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want to cut Tom
Yeah.
Hiddleston a check. It's fine.
Right.
The only thing that bothered me is when we got the Deadpool core. They are Deadpools from all over different universes, right? We
Yeah.
got Headpool, we got Ladypool,
No Spider Pool.
we got Whalepool,
Yeah.
Whalespool. But we didn't have an X-Men variant of Deadpool, which is a thing.
Yeah, with the
Blue
yeah,
suit.
Yeah.
We also didn't get black suit Deadpool. Like those are two variants that
Right.
exist.
Right.
And
I
they
thought that
weren't
they
in
could have.
there.
I thought that they could have done
No
more
Ravenpool?
with- Yeah, Ravenpool would have been sick.
I was looking
any,
for him.
Any of the Fortnite
Yeah.
pools would have been so cool. Cuddle pool would have been so cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking for Deadpool variants, and they had a couple.
Right. But then a
like,
lot of them seemed just like regular Deadpools.
Yeah.
A lot of them just looked like regular people in Deadpool suits.
does
Which is
make sense.
right.
But you know, it would have been nice to have comic ones in there
Yes,
too.
yes,
More
I agree.
comic ones.
Speaking of comics, let's talk about Comic Con. This past weekend was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And they announced some pretty starting from like most boring to most cool would be like they showed off Thunderbolts stuff, and that is
Nobody's still excited about Thunderbolts. It's
right,
crazy.
Right. That's essentially like Suicide Squad, but for Marvel, and it'll be cool. And like, there's an asterisk in it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk, and people think that the asterisk is going to be Dark Avengers once it comes out. They're going
That's cool.
Asterisk in front, Dark
Yeah.
Avengers.
Okay.
Which would be cool, and like that's kind of fun to have because it's supposed to be. They're sent out on a mission and they fail, but then when they come back to the States, the government wants to use them as like a suicide
Government organization. Yeah.
right, like a Suicide or like an Avengers, like
Yeah.
a team. So that'll be cool. And then Fantastic Four, that was sick. I was very excited for Fantastic Four. I might be forgetting one other thing if I move on to the next big thing.
Let's
But-
just move on to the big thing.
And then Robert Downey Jr. coming back as not Tony Stark,
No.
but as
Victor Von Doom.
This
Victor
is
Von Doom.
the best casting they could have done because
Everyone's
there are
mad about it.
But there's so many variants within the actual comics.
Hang on, real quick. Let's clarify. He's not a variant.
He's Victor Von Doom.
He's Victor Von Doom.
just
He's not
saying,
Tony Stark.
there-
He's not,
Right.
you know,
There
Right.
are variants
any of the Iron
of-
Man Dooms.
There are variants of Victor Von Doom that are Tony Stark.
You're just I understand what you're saying. Like because multiverse, it works and it's
Right,
cool.
right.
I get that, and I totally agree. Because when the answer is because multiverse, they came from the void. Because this, because
Yeah.
it's a super simple write-off and explanation that we can all kind of like. Yeah, that's cool. Like okay, it's just a random. They can do anything, and like the what if comic
Yeah.
is that's very cool, and I think that they could do something like that. I think that.
I feel like
they've
that will be the origin story because then we get a new Avengers where our Spider-Man sees Tony Stark's face as Victor Von Doom.
Right.
and
Right.
So
that
okay,
would be
let's
crazy.
take it from there real quick because we'll do problem solution because I know each of us have a theory. You
Sure.
kind of did most of yours already.
Yeah. Sorry, I was
but-
excited.
So that's the big problem that a lot of people have with this casting is that well he's not Tony Stark and it's not going to be played as Tony Stark, but they're obviously going to have the issue of people are going to see his face and
Right.
it's going to be stupid if they act like that's not Tony Stark and they don't
Right.
recognize him. That's the issue that people are having mainly. Also, my phone's going off and playing the show.
Hey,
but
that's okay. A little
the-
bit of me.
A little bit more Shane in there.
Yeah.
But that's the big issue people are having is that you can't play this as he's not Tony Stark and expect all of the other canon universe people to not recognize his face. That's essentially the issue.
Yeah.
You have a big theory. I'm going to let you finish with that because I'm sure it's a lot more detailed than mine. My theory is simply this.
You're going to let him finish and then go into yours? Or
What's that?
you said, I'm going to let you finish yours. because-
No, I'm going to let
he
you
said-
finish the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I'm going out.
gotcha.
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah.
out.
He's gonna be the big ending.
I thought you
for it.
meant go first, and then you were just like, and my theory is this.
No. Here's my theory for the whole Tony Stark thing. I think that, and it's a very, very minute poll that I'm using for this, so I don't think it'll work. But here's how I would book this. In No Way Home, we saw Willem Dafoe from the Sony universe
The Gobster.
come into the MCU universe, Tom Holland's universe, and there's a very, very minute line in there that is my whole basis for this.
Sure.
He's talking when he's at Feast. He's talking. Is it Feast?
I don't know.
The charity organization that May works at.
Sure.
He's talking with May and he says, I tried to go home. My home doesn't exist. Oscorp doesn't exist here. My son doesn't exist here.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is literally going to be that scenario. We are seeing he's Victor Von Doom in this, but it's very much a case of
It's Tony
he's
Stark's
Victor Von
universe.
Doom because Stark Industries doesn't exist. Tony Stark, the person, doesn't exist. So Iron Man doesn't exist in
Right.
this universe.
Right.
He is born Victor Von Doom some way or another.
I like that.
And it's the same person, quote unquote, but Stark has never existed in his timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So he is Victor Von Doom.
I like that, but I don't think that's.
No, I don't think that's
think-
it at all, but
I think that this is such a batshit crazy casting that I think anything is on the table,
Sure.
and none of us have any idea what we're just pissing in the wind our ideas, and like it's fun to talk. That this
Yeah.
is the fun of it, but it's like this is such a crazy casting with the implications that we know that there's no way that I heard someone say, you know, so at the end of when he announced this, Kevin Feige said, "So is there any questions?" And then he walked off.
that's awesome.
Because he knows, they know.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Nobody knows, but they do. We
Yeah.
have to put
Yeah.
the faith in, like, they must have a really sick-ass idea
Right.
if they're willing to actually go through with this, and we just kind of have to trust the process.
Well, Shane,
I-
what is that idea since you're in the writer's room?
I think that it's a really simple, really easy theory. We have referred to the MCU as Earth 616 in the movies before, but then anywhere else you see the MCU referred to as, it's Earth 109999.
Mhm.
That's Into the Spider-Verse. That's any comic that it's
Sure.
ever been referred to. I think that we in the MCU think that we are the 616, but in reality we're just an abstract Earth that, and I think also in our mainline MCU, we think we have the sacred timeline and we think we have it perfect, but in every other reality, Victor Von Doom looks like Robert Downey Jr., and we just have a whack brain variant of Victor Von Doom.
We have the variant.
We have the variant that just happened to be Iron Man and happened to be a good guy and happened to look like Robert Downey Jr. And so then when the multiverse is introduced and they're all Victor Von Doom from across, or they're all Robert Downey,
Jr., yeah.
we're going to be like, oh,
We're the oddball,
That's going
yeah.
to be the twist, is that we were the
I like
odd
that a lot.
we were the odd man out, and it's only revealed when it's like, oh, wait a minute, whoa. Your Tony Stark looks like that?
Yeah.
Or like a good Victor Von
Okay.
Doom is like, whoa.
Ooh.
That's what your Tony Stark looked like, who died years ago, because obviously Secret Wars and Doomsday taking place when they take place, Tony Stark will have already been dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So they might not get the chance to encounter
Interact, yeah.
until later, and then it's revealed like, wait a minute, that's what he's your Iron Man, because for us, that's Doom. you
So,
know?
okay, I like that a lot. I think that's probably the most plausible. And I'll say this. I don't think even it necessarily could have been directly, but if they do take this route, I think there's a seed planted in Deadpool then. Because to my knowledge, this would be the first time that something like that has happened, where they saw Chris Evans, and they went, oh, that's Captain America.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was Johnny Storm.
Right.
Because same guy,
the switcheroo.
actor, but
Right.
different universe.
It's
oh, no,
more
that's
of a
Johnny
thing.
Storm.
You're not tricking anyone in universe. You're just tricking the audience
Yeah.
specifically, because the audience is the only one that can thoroughly make that connection between Johnny Storm
And Deadpool.
and Deadpool and Captain America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're the only ones that
Yeah.
understand that context of, oh, he's both, or maybe people who like live in the void
Sure,
or something
sure.
like that. You know?
Yeah, because Deadpool literally was like, "Oh, that's Cap."
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
he is our voice, right? Because he's breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of
Literally,
the-
literally. Yeah, I think, and I think like we'll get, Deadpool and Wolverine in Secret Wars, and I think we'll get Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire interacting with each other, and I think all that shit will come to fruition. I just am the more I've been stewing on Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, I just don't know. I think the MCU is already, baseline what you're watching now,
Yeah,
can already kind of be confusing for audiences. Throwing someone who's never seen an MCU movie into Multiverse of Madness,
Jake's mind isn't going to work anymore.
right, Jake's mind isn't going to work anymore. Like, I think that this is just a little bit, I think about like, if I were to see a silhouette of one of you guys
Mhm.
and how you move and shit like that, if you were walking or picking something, I would
Pimp
know.
walk, Gene.
I would know that it's you. I would know,
Yeah.
like, just based on your mannerisms. I think that it will be too confusing for audiences, even if he's just wearing a mask and you only see his eyes behind the metal
Yeah.
face. I think it'll still be a little, and like they can vocode his voice all they want.
Which is a big thing that I'm seeing a lot of people defending it, saying, "Oh, well, he's gonna be Doom has to be behind the mask the whole time. You know, they're not gonna
Right.
show his face." Guys, we've talked about this. They're hiring Robert Downey Jr. to play him. We're gonna see Robert Downey Jr.
We're gonna see Robert Downey Jr. And that's the thing. Like
You don't hire someone if you're not gonna use that person's face.
he can play. No, I agree. We're gonna see his face, but like it's just such a crazy casting to me. They have to have a really good idea, or this is gonna be super confusing and be like the end.
We got 1 minute, real quick. I think that also lends credence if they go down that route to reusing Kang as someone else.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think if we got the fucking little wink and nod during Deadpool that there's only one Blade and it's
Right.
Wesley Snipes,
Right.
maybe we can use Mahershala Ali as Kang
Yeah.
in this correct universe.
That would be cool.
216-859-8699. Let me know your Marvel booking theories.
You're listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
You know, for the third week in a row, I'm just chugging ayahuasca. It's a crutch.
Would you do an ayahuasca
No.
tour thing?
No.
So immediately ready to turn that heel. Just
You
so
are-
immediately, not even a thought.
He's
Grace
watched
ahead.
so many
It
videos.
was so like instantly no. Obviously not, dipshit. Why would I ever consider? What makes you think I would ever consider that? The fact that I say constantly that I'm presently doing ayahuasca? Maybe. I don't know.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene. My right is Shaney.
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm radio's Rebel DJ style. You can listen to us live with Live 365 anywhere you go. Pairs with the car speaker, Bluetooth, headphones, whatever connects to Bluetooth.
Plug it in your ass.
Plug it in your ass. Live 360. They probably don't like when we say that.
Yeah.
Plug it in your
Semicolon, new statement.
Car.
Live 365. Download the app. Take us with you wherever you go. Or go to WSRRradio.com. It's, of course, the homepage for all of our great content there. You can also watch these on YouTube, either live, simulcast on Mondays at 5, or you can go back and watch them, or you can get the podcast on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Also, if you do watch the video feed on YouTube, how do you guys like the Wii music during the breaks now?
Yeah.
We've been doing that.
I
Pretty fun.
try to get it like nicely done.
I'm sorry,
Sometimes I mess it up.
Wii music.
Yeah, it's not actual
yeah,
Wii
not
music.
copyrighted Wii music.
It's Fee music.
So cookies, am I right?
yeah, dude.
Cookies.
It's Wii W-E-E music.
Yeah, yeah.
Cookies, yeah. So I brought the story in. There is I don't even know where it is.
Where it is.
Where it is. Sorry, I had some of that Creole fucking.
Got a little of that Channing in
yeah,
me.
got a little of that Gambit speak.
It doesn't seem like they specify where this happened.
So essentially, here's the story. A lady who works at a bakery, a cafe, is going on vacation. And as her oh, hey, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, something like that, she went and brought her coworkers a tray of cookies, a basket of cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Left it in the break room so they can, have a nice little snack while she's gone, I guess.
Yeah,
Nice little going away gift.
Yes.
So she leaves it in the break room, goes on her vacation, comes back 2 weeks later, and starts talking to one of her coworkers there who's at the counter and goes, oh, hey, by the way, did you guys like the cookies? They turn out okay. And they go, what cookies? And she explains the cookies and how they looked, and the coworker says, well, those ones that are in the display? And she looks in the display, and her cookies are in the display for sale. So the manager, when she had left,
Mm-hmm.
found the cookie basket in the back and decided, oh, I'm going to sell these instead, and puts them on display and sells them and is pocketing the extra money.
Did she leave a
Because
note?
they do sell cookies and baked goods.
Right.
Did she leave a note? Was this a misunderstanding?
I would just listen. I don't think it's a misunderstanding unless
Yeah.
Shane was
I
talking
don't
about this
know.
before we got on there. Weird fucking choice to leave cookies at a place that sells baked goods and cookies for your employees. Number one.
If you bring in like a deli tray of cookies and you set it on the table in the back of your bakery that sells cookies, I would assume that any of your coworkers, even if there is a note, I might still be like, well, my coworkers might think that this is display or something
Sure.
like that. You have
Yeah.
to. You have to have that mindset going.
If I work
I
at
don't
Subway,
know.
I'm not ordering you guys subs for a fucking party.
Right,
We're gonna
right,
get
right,
pizza or something, right?
Right.
So weird choice to begin with, but I think I'm not of the opinion that the boss was like, oh, these should be on the display. Why are they back here? I would venture to guess there was some kind of note or it's not your basket or tray they're on.
Right.
I'm assuming they aren't the same cookies they're selling too.
Yeah, right.
Like that would be doubly
Right.
weird if
I
you're
was-
using
I
the same
didn't-
recipe.
Oh, I didn't know this batch of cookies was made in my bakery.
Right.
You
I'm
would know.
assuming
You
that
would
they're
know.
like a gourmet cookie shop and they do like
Special
random
cookie-
different
yeah.
cookies all the time. So
Right.
you can't just
Suspect that.
they're all the same cookies all the time.
Even still, if I'm the manager, I would know what cookies are being baked in my shop, and
Right.
I guess those would then have to be under my own assumption. If I'm a manager of Goodwill, I would have to assume that those cookies were baked in my shop,
Right.
and if
But-
I would know what cookies are baked. I don't know.
You
what
would
if they were a special order from somebody and
I don't
well
see.
then why would they be in the case?
But that kind of makes me that's another weird part is like I feel like these cookies had to have been some real specialized cookies for
yeah.
right.
someone to bring them into a bakery or some really high class kind of cookie or something
Yeah.
like that. They had to have been nice.
And again, we're reaching here because we don't have a lot of context from the store.
Right,
I don't think
right.
this is like gourmet cookie shop. It sounds like just a cafe that has baked goods.
Right.
To me, that's what it seems like. Because again, and I can even rationalize that a little more if you're bringing cookies or baked goods there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's solely a cookie shop, why would you ever bring cookies from home
That's
as
what
like,
I'm s-
thanks guys?
That's what I'm saying. Like it just
If
that
it's a
part
coffee
is-
shop, like I understand it a little bit. It's still weird. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I understand it a little bit more than if it was solely a cookie stop.
Maybe
Yeah.
she was like, man, I love these cookies. They don't sell them at the store. I'm going to see if they like my recipe and we can start selling these. And she asked when she got back Hey, did anybody like them?
She didn't, though. That's not the context. You're just making things up. She
is-
left her fucking coworkers cookies to eat while she was gone, and the boss found them and sold them.
This is just so like, yeah. I don't know if it's. I wonder if it's a bakery where they sell baked
There was a note
goods.
on top that said they were for me to be eaten by the employees.
Okay, yeah.
That's wrong. Then that's wrong.
Yeah.
The boss found it and put them in the display,
That is wrong.
and then pocketed the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
All right.
incorrect. You should not have
They
done
were
that.
selling them for $2 for 3 cookies in the display, and the boss was pocketing the profit.
Why? Why would you do that as the boss?
Number
That
one,
doesn't
illegal against like the
sense.
Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense even for the manager just to be pocketing it. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
It literally says, not to mention, it's totally against the food safety regulations
Yeah.
to sell them.
Like this
Yeah.
dude was definitely just a sleazy fucking manager. Is it the
Okay.
manager or the owner?
I think
It just says my boss.
Yeah, that's very
Because if it's the owner, I'm very
Right.
suspect of this whole place.
assistant
Right, what-
manager.
Assistant manager. Okay, so it probably
there's
is
an
just some dude
update.
trying to make some fucking money then. He
No,
needs
wait.
fired.
I am the assistant manager, and he is both the store owner and manager.
Oh.
So
it's
it is.
both.
It is just a
Yeah.
schemy place.
Yeah.
Wow. What the
That's-
fuck?
Yeah, that's good for no one. That sucks. Where is this place? Why can't we like dox this place?
Yeah, I get nowhere. We have 2 different articles up looking at this shit, and
Mhm.
I don't see any of it.
I vote that nobody ever goes here again. And I wonder again, is it like a bakery that's selling baked goods or do they sell cookies and like brownies and stuff like, cuz there's a difference between
Yeah.
croissants and like English muffin sandwiches and shit like that.
Right.
And then a place that sells cookies and brownies.
Which is
and-
what I'm assuming. It's like some kind of coffee shop or bakery that also has goodies,
You're right.
not specifically just cookies, all cookies.
All
Yeah.
kinds
Like a
of baked
bakery.
goods.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like a bakery.
So okay, here's an update. The coworker said that she wrote this initial story out and shared it during her lunch break that day when she came back, and she goes on to say, "Since my break, I have gone on a larger argument with my boss. I quit and have told him that if he does not return the money that he earned for those sales to me, that I won't be back for my other shifts this week, and I would fuck up his vacation plans."
I would sue.
He reluctantly agreed to this, but is obviously furious at me. Okay, couple things with this. Why would you go back even after you get your money? Why would you go back?
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to work there. I would
you
just
mean the place that stole your shit and profited?
I would quit and sue.
Yeah, I would sue.
I would quit and I would sue for
I would sue at the very least for doing something illegal in the Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, I don't know like
You can't resell someone's fucking baked goods.
Right, I don't know what I as the producer of those baked goods can do to sue, but I'm going to do it cuz
Yeah.
there has to be I have to be legally compensated somehow, right?
Right. Apparently, there's also a group text between all of the coworkers now where they're discussing this, and the original lady who brought the cookies says, "I also feel like some of the other people might quit because of this too. Everyone is angry with him and letting him know, which is great to see."
This must be a crazy ass place to work. Some of these I feel like there are a lot of mom and pop
Quote,
food
"What a
places?
scummy person."
Yeah.
Look at that.
Probably. But like a lot of mom and pop food places specifically that are probably just behind the scenes, back of house, run like madhouses.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
bet. I would assume. Like a lot of places that probably make really good food that we go to and enjoy eating at, but I would just have to assume that back of house it's a shit mad show back there and people screaming, like
Yeah.
probably just crazy
Like bar rescue and
type
like
shit, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the scary double-edged sword you have to play with, right? Because you'd rather go to a local restaurant if it has good food,
Right.
right? You'd
Right.
rather go to a mom and pop and eat there and
Exactly.
get a meal
support
there
local
than
business.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
However, you also run the risk of, okay, well, what are they doing behind the scenes to keep costs low and stay afloat?
Right.
Are they
Right.
reselling things?
Right.
If I don't eat my mac and cheese, does it go back in the bin and serve to the next customer?
Yeah, right.
It's a scary thought.
It
And it might deter you from going.
Yeah, right. It's
So you got to put a lot of faith when you eat it. I mean, you have to do in general because I mean, McDonald's hires 10-year-olds and
Yeah.
all that kind of shit too.
10-year-olds
but-
at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But like there's Burger King foot lettuce out there.
Oh,
So you
God.
put a lot of faith eating out, but
Yeah, in
I think
general.
especially for like a mom and pop where they are going to do whatever they can to save money.
Right. And it's just hard to discern between the good places and the bad
Right.
places. The places who are in it to make good quality food and the places who are just want your money and they're trying to start a restaurant because
Or
they
the
know that that's
ones
profitable.
That are like shitty to their staff, and the tips
Yeah,
don't actually go to them when
right.
you tip them.
Right. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know, I would assume most people going into this local baked goods shop weren't like, oh, they're probably turning out shit just to cut a profit. It's bakery,
Right.
fucking coffee
right.
shop. That's never a thought. Like,
Right.
if I'm going to a restaurant and it's a little dirty or something like that, that might cross my mind.
Sure.
Not a fucking bakery where I'm getting a coffee and a cookie.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to think like, man, were these cookies?
Are these stolen?
Are these stolen cookies?
Are they pocketing my money off these cookies?
Yeah, is this manager pocketing my money right now off these cookies I'm
Ask.
buying from him?
Ask anytime you go to a restaurant if they're
Yeah.
pocketing money. It's
Are you-
probably the safest thing.
Are you pocketing my money on the side when it goes to my bill?
when you sit down at the local diner, the waiter comes over and is like, "Hey, can I take your order?" It's like, real quick. Anything on this menu made out of house? Like, does anyone bring this in? This wasn't like a potluck dinner.
This was all made in.
You're gonna make
in-
this now?
This is all in restaurant, right? None of this was imported. None of your cookies. Yeah.
I mean, fuck. There's restaurants that like will order from other restaurants and sell it, which again is illegal.
Yeah.
But like I've seen that happen many times.
And that's why like shit like ghost kitchens and stuff like that
Yeah.
still baffle my brain on how that works legally, that they can pose
I worked at a
as-
ghost kitchen.
Really?
Well, I didn't work in the kitchen. I worked at a bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
And there was at some point in time the
Mhm.
bowling alley cafe was bought out by a restaurant.
Yes.
And the restaurant completely redid it. They made it like a nice restaurant in the bowling alley.
Yes.
And when they realized that wasn't a profitable business because no one goes to a bowling alley to eat Italian food,
Right.
when they realized that wasn't a profitable business, they opened up to ghost kitchens on DoorDash. And so, like, when the Mr. Beast burger came out,
Mhm.
that's what they would sell. And 90% of
Wow.
their profit came from DoorDash pickups of the Mr. Beast burger.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
wild.
And so they literally were, like, emailed instructions of how to make it
Yeah.
and what to order for ingredients, and they would make them and sell them via DoorDash. And you couldn't go in and order it,
Right.
but that's how they would do it. They just give it to the DoorDash driver.
So you couldn't go in and say, "Can I get a Mr."
Yeah,
That's
because
so
you're
wild.
not supposed to know where they come from.
Right.
So if I go into I can say the name now. I
Yeah.
think because it's not
Yeah.
operational anymore. If I go into Verso
yeah.
and go, hey, let me get a Mr. Beast burger, they'd be like, what?
What
That's
is
not a thing.
like
pick
what
something off
is
the menu.
That? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, not
That's-
to mention that it was probably a lot cheaper than what they were selling
Yeah,
regardless.
right.
But yeah, you can't do that. If you know where a ghost kitchen is, you can't ask for the things that aren't of that business.
Yeah.
Because they're not selling it. The other
Right.
person is.
That's
So I'm sure they could get into legal trouble too if they were like, hey, we also sell Mr. Beast burgers. They would just be pocketing the money and
right.
not giving the money to whoever's paying them to be a ghost kitchen,
Right. Oh, that's so wild.
which they definitely did all the time.
Sure.
Like they would fucking be like, hey, do you want food? And everyone who works at the bowling alley notoriously didn't like most of the food at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So like, hey, how about one of those burgers you guys make now?
How about one of those beastly burgers
Yeah.
that are so good? Yeah, that's the whole ghost kitchen thing. Is just how do they avoid like legal troubles and like
Yeah, I don't know.
there are like
And it's only for a limited time. Like you can only be part of that for like it's contracts.
really
So like you sign up for like 6-month contract to be,
really
and it's not guaranteed that it'll renew or be an option.
It's
That's
weird
so wild.
because it's like one company's restaurant,
Yeah.
but another company is paying them to make food
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, another company that doesn't have a restaurant is paying the company that is a restaurant to make their food and sell it.
Well, I think about like the Just Wings or stuff like that,
Yeah.
where it's Applebee's or a place like that, TGI Fridays, but it's just their wings.
Yeah,
and they're selling
Wing Street.
Yeah, shit like that, where it's like the company but diet.
Yeah.
It's the diet version of the company.
Sub-branch of the company.
Sub-branch of the company where like the colors are still the same and the branding kind of looks similar, but maybe not. And
where you feel like you could kind of go in and order from the original company.
yeah.
Well, like, it's like a Cosmix.
Yes, literally, it's like a Cosmic.
Yeah. fucking Pizza Hut comes to my mind because they have Wing Street, and usually you see, oh, Pizza Hut Wing Street, and you're like, okay, that's a weird thing. They're branding their wings as an entire company, right?
Yeah.
But there is genuinely a Wing Street down the street, not a Pizza Hut. There's also a Pizza Hut, but separate building, separate road. There is just a Wing Street down the street.
That's very interesting.
And I'm thinking, who goes there, number one?
Yeah.
And number two, like, is that profitable? Because, like, that's not a company you think of.
Well,
Can't
if
I
I-
just
if-
go to Pizza Hut?
Yeah, because you could go to Pizza Hut and get wings.
right, it's the same thing.
Why would I go to Wing Street and get wings?
Well, and I wonder how much connectivity, like connective tissue, is there between. Do customers know that this is
Right.
related to Pizza Hut, or is this just a random thing for them?
Yeah.
Because then,
Yeah.
if it's just random, could we expand upon the idea of Wing Street, or
Right.
like I wonder how.
Here's an easy solution. Combination Pizza Hut, Long John Silver's, KFC, Taco Bell. Bring them all
yes,
back.
Yes.
Fly the flag high. 216-859-8699.
Hey, hey.
Hey!
Now you can build the Lego house.
Hey! A fire's broke out in Lego City. Why were you fucking screaming and moaning about this story before we even got on air? What's
I
going
don't
on?
know. Honestly, I just got into it before we even got
What is
into
it?
it.
Yeah, I'm getting juiced.
So
jiggy.
a Japanese restaurant says that they're not charging tourists more but charging locals less, which I think is ass backwards.
Japanese restaurant, as in a restaurant in Japan, not.
Yes.
Well, I think to even boil that down even more, a locally owned, locally operated, like non-commercial establishment you
In
know?
Japan.
In Japan, right? Not a
McDonald's.
not a McDonald's or something big
Or a
name,
Cosmix.
right? Or a Cosmix. Not even a Cosmix.
Not even a Wing Street for some of you guys.
For you
Okay, hang on,
weirdos out there.
real quick. If you've ever been to a fucking Wing Street, 216-859-8699. I want to know who you are.
Yeah, let us know how it was.
Who are you people?
Yeah.
Okay, so a locally owned restaurant in Japan
Yes.
is charging locals less than tourists.
Well, charging tourists more.
But that's not how they're saying it.
Yeah, I don't think that they're charging tourists more. I think they have a set price and
Yeah.
they're giving a discount
Yeah.
to the locals.
If I walk in to Hibachi Japan, Japanese authentic experience,
yes.
it's not what this is. If I walk into this restaurant and I order my food and the menu price is $22,
Mhm.
I expect to pay $22. If I happen to live in the city and they're like, "Hey, your bill is $14.50," that's
Right.
cool. But I
Right.
expected to pay $22 because that's the menu price.
Right.
I'm not walking in and the price is $14.50 and they're charging me $22, and I'm going, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Right.
Imagine you and somebody else next to you
It's
are
Shane.
Hey.
like double registers, double ordering, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Double registers, double ordering.
You and this person next to you order the exact same
Shane.
meal.
Sure.
They tell that person $14 and they tell you 22. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna think.
Hang on.
I'm gonna think. Damn, that sucks. But this guy next to me is local, so
How do you know?
comes here all the time.
Well, I would know.
Yeah, I think that us being the caucus of Caucasians, I think that we would know if
Yeah,
we
I was a
were
caucus.
the foreigners in Japan, and
I would
and the
hope
guy
we
next
would.
to me was charged less, and he was very clearly Japanese. I'd say that makes sense.
It's the ones that don't know that scare me. They
Yeah.
scare me in general. Checkout line or not.
Yeah.
It's the people of the Isle of Caucasus that don't know they're not Japanese in Japan.
Yes,
Those people scare me.
those
If
people
we're in
scare
line
me.
for food or not.
Yeah, yeah. Let me
And
too.
those are the ones going.
Those are the ones wearing alien hats in forests.
No, those ones aren't allowed in Japan anymore.
Those ones aren't. Those ones aren't. Yeah.
No, I would if regardless of what I overhear, if we order the same meal, if I'm in line and I know the price that I'm looking at is $22, that's what I'm expecting to pay.
Right.
If they give this guy a discount, I'm like, huh, I wonder what happened there, but I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
I
curious.
guess.
I'm gonna be curious. I'm gonna be like, oh, that it's gonna be thought provoking for sure.
But then
I'm
I'll be
not
like, oh,
going-
maybe he knows the owner or something.
Right. I'm not gonna be like, well, why did he get a discount? I'm not gonna look at my cashier and be like, why did he get a discount?
Yeah.
And I didn't, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not gonna go that far. It's clearly he's local and I'm not. I'm just gonna let it lie. You know what I mean? Like,
I said it right before we got on air, but I equate this to like if I went to the McDonald's down the street and because I live in this neighborhood, they gave me $6 off.
yeah.
And then I went to a different McDonald's in like a different town over,
Right.
and they made me pay.
My caveat to that, my big caveat to that is it's not a McDonald's. It's a local chain restaurant. Like if it were a McDonald's, I'd say we should sue.
No.
Because this is bad. Like this is a problem. This is I think that would be weird because McDonald's are readily available everywhere and it's like less of a novelty, right? It's less of a I'm going out of my way to experience this food. I didn't have to travel. I didn't
Speak for yourself, dude. When I go to McDonald's, it is an experience.
It's a voyage.
I dress up like the Hamburglar. I am in the playroom.
Styles Odyssey, going to McDonald's.
There's just dramatic music
Yeah,
playing the whole
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I'm asking for the Grimace shake out of season.
The
I'm
Grimace
making them make me the
shake.
McRib.
Bringing the frozen McRib to
Yeah.
them.
Like, boys, fry it up. You know,
Lather this in
it's
barbecue
that,
sauce.
It's that time of the month. I'm there in my best 3-piece suit.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my big caveat here is that this is a local chain. Like this is a local restaurant that was probably started by someone who lives here and has served the people of this community specifically for even 5 years, I'd say. That's fair.
Okay.
Real quick on the McDonald's story. I would not be upset if I went to my local McDonald's and they gave me $6 off, and I went out of town to McDonald's and they charged me the accurate price, because again, they're not upcharging me. Someone
Okay,
gave me
yeah,
a discount.
yeah.
And I'm not going to argue with the discount.
No, I guess I
but
agree
I'm
with
not
that.
being upcharged.
Right, I guess I agree with that. Because, yeah, overall, it's not an upcharge. It's more of like a for your convenience fee.
It's a friends and family thing.
Yeah, it's a friends and family.
So
If
they're
you've
just
ever-
taking the L because
Literally, yeah,
Yeah.
they're taking the L because they're a big business. They're clearly this sushi house or whatever it is in Japan is like,
They're profitable enough to where they can
Exactly.
charge people probably what the bare minimum would be to turn a profit.
right. I bet that the local price is like just barely $1 over turning a profit, maybe even at cost,
Yeah.
and then the regular price is what they're making money on, you know?
Or side theory, and this is me speculating here.
Mm-hmm.
This place seems like it's been around a while if
Sure.
this is their business model they're
Right.
going with now.
Right.
Maybe the price that they're charging the locals is the price that it used to be or typically was until
tourism.
they started getting a lot of tourism.
Right, right.
Okay.
So they're charging them the original rate versus their new rates, which is advertised on the menu.
I guess. I just don't like it. I think it's stupid.
I don't want to see you ever take advantage of a friends and family discount anywhere then.
Okay.
I think it's just one of those things where, like, we don't have to like it. We just don't have to go to Japan because clearly this,
You can't make me go to Japan.
like, this is something where they have been heavily affected by tourism,
Yeah.
clearly, and they are making a stance on that of, like, we don't want to push our locals out. We still appreciate the locals that come here, and those are the people that we want to serve. We've
Yeah.
just had an over influx of foreigners and,
Mhm.
and travelers. So we're going to give the locals a little, because we've made so much money from all
Right.
the foreigners, and we can charge the locals and the ones who we know, I've seen you for the last 16 years coming in here every Wednesday or whatever. I'll give you the $6.50 off type shit.
Look at it this way. It's like a free membership. It's like free loyalty rewards. right?
Literally. It's a
Okay.
loyalty program that you don't have to sign up for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. Because like you go to GameStop and you can fucking sign up for a pro account. And
Right.
it's like 15, I think it's $20 for a year now. But with that, you get discounts and extras and all that kind of shit.
Right.
But I can give my phone number to you and you can use it. And I can give it to you and you can use it. This one account that I'm paying for covers multiple people. Not technically by the book, but it's the
Right.
discount they're getting. It's a friends and family discount, essentially.
This is like the purest, most boiled down form of a loyalty program.
Yeah.
Because it's
It's for people who are loyal.
it's for the people who are literally just loyal to the business and show up. And so
The
it's like-
community.
right. It's like, I've seen you. I know that you live down the street. I've talked to you when you come in here every day or whatever. You're getting the $6.50 off. This white guy with bleach blonde tips and crazy Ray-Ban glasses on, I'm charging him the full amount.
Yeah.
He gets the regular price.
But what if that Isle of Caucasus man moved there and became...
Well, they
Then-
understand over time.
Yeah, then it would be
Okay.
something of, I wouldn't expect, if I moved to Japan and after like 4 months I get a members only, or I get a loyalty discount at this place, they start charging me less just because I've been going here because it's on my way home, on my commute home from work or whatever, so I stop here and get ramen or pho, whatever it is. If like after 6 months they start giving me a discount, I'm going to be like, "Oh, that's really nice of you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you for accepting me into your community." I'm not
Okay.
going to start off by scoffing at them and
Why
being
am
like,
I
"Oh,
getting a discount?
yeah, why aren't, how come the clearly Japanese people in this Japanese restaurant are getting the discount and me, the white man, is not?" I'm not going to do that shit, you know? That's their community, that's their home.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, you know.
I think the title of this just kind of made it...
It's written
It's
by a
supposed-
white person who wants a discount.
It's supposed to be, it's rage bait. I mean, there's a term for it. It's rage bait. It's
Yeah.
supposed to make us mad. That's the intention of this article
Yeah.
is, hey, look, they're charging other people more. Isn't that crazy? And we're supposed to say, yeah, that is crazy. But like, in reality, places do this. This is a common thing.
yeah.
Anywhere you go, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say another quick bowling story. When I worked at the bowling alley, so right after I got hired, it switched management to a
Mhm.
corporation. It was a family,
Right.
or it was a locally owned business. It switched to a corporation right after I started there.
Yeah.
And people who had been coming there for decades, league bowlers,
Mhm.
were accustomed to, oh, I bowl in a league. If I want to come in and practice, it's $2 a game. You
Yep.
know, I can throw
Yep,
as
they
many
got
games
the
as I want
family
for
discount.
$2.
They got the.
But since corporate switched over, we weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Yep.
You're just as good as anyone else. It's $25 for the hour. That's what you
Yep.
got to pay. We never fucking did that shit. You've been coming here for 20 years. I'm not going to tell you that all of a sudden you have to pay $25 an hour.
Right.
Give me the $2. I'll turn on the lanes.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's essentially what they're doing here. They're,
You're
hey,
giving-
I know you. You've been here. You support the community.
It's literally the term loyalty. That's the loyalty program is we'll give you a better price because we can cut it. We can
Yeah.
take that, hit essentially of $6.50.
I would be curious to see if it is them taking a hit or if it is, again, market price, what they can afford.
Yeah, and I would bet too that, like I said, they probably had an influx of tourism that
Yeah.
led to something like
Yeah.
this, where they had the opportunity to charge their locals
Yeah.
less.
Which I think, honestly, I think this is a good strategy, and I think local business could learn a thing from this.
So here, Japan has never been a destination known for hiking up prices for foreigners, but over-tourism, fueled by a combination of pent-up post-COVID demands, aka revenge travel, and the weak local currency, have prompted restaurants in the country to consider the merits of different pricing. And yeah, I think it's like you're getting so many people there,
Yeah.
charge them more and then charge your locals less.
Yeah, raise prices and then keep it loyal for the locals.
Right.
216-859-8699 is the number to text in for your order.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show.
The gyros at Arby's are actually pretty good. Gyros.
Oh, yeah,
what
no,
you
the
said.
gyros at Arby's are
They're
pretty
gyros,
good.
but yeah. I hate that you call them fucking gyros.
They're
They're gyros. It's a Greek word, damn
I'm
it.
not Greek.
It's a Greek
I'm
word,
not
damn it.
Greek.
Dude, get him to the Greek.
I'm not Greek. I don't go in the fucking.
Why do you call it Parmesan? It's Parmesan then for you, buddy.
No, it's not.
Parmigiano.
I'm not
It's
Greek.
called a fucking gyro.
I don't drive through Taco Bell and go, yeah, let me get pollo. I don't do that. I say
Ugh.
chicken because I'm not Mexican.
Yeah, Evan, I don't go through the drive-thru and say, I want spaghetti. I say, give me the noodles.
So where do we leave off? MH370
Yeah.
in the ocean.
yeah.
No one knows where it's at.
Can't be found.
But
It's a
this
mystery.
piece washes up in Japan,
Yes.
and it's got markings. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because that's not what we're talking about.
Are we not talking about Malaysian Airlines Flight 370?
No, sir.
I feel like we're just always kind of talking about. I feel like that conversation never ends. You know?
I think I just like fucking jumped. Like I was at one point in the timeline and now I'm here.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
I swore there was a lot more green around me and the couch was more brown and you were over here and we were talking about MH370.
That's
Bad trip.
That was a little. Yeah. You snapped back. Welcome back to reality.
From back to the primary timeline
yeah.
now.
Yeah. This is Style Prime.
Style Prime. That's when I collab with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Wait for the Style Flavored Prime to come out at the shows.
Not sure I want that.
You can ask AI what it tastes like, I guess. Or you can ask AI for a law degree now.
Yeah, apparently you can just become a lawyer through AI.
I'm kind of surprised this is the first we're hearing of this.
No, yeah, this seems like something that would have happened circa like a year ago, 6
Yeah.
months ago. You know, like it's just so crazy that because it's it makes sense. You know, let me have AI do everything, and I'll just profit.
Yeah. So there's a man in South Carolina. He, by all means, people thought he was an attorney.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be so incorrect to think this, seeing that he represented multiple people in court as an attorney.
It's so crazy that he made it that far.
Yeah.
He did it.
Multiple court cases.
Right.
He made it
did
through.
it. He did it.
Successfully represented, like, appeared throughout the entire trial, start to finish, represented. I don't know if he won or not, but he was there.
But still, he was there. He did it.
So this guy, what's his name? Do we have his name? Not Jonathan Majors.
Danny's. No, that's the judge. Jason Boyle.
So Jason,
No, wait.
on behalf of Jason Boyle.
Or is it Nathan Chambers? Filed his court indicates he.
What's this guy's name?
What the fuck's her name? This is why they had such a problem.
I think it's Boyle.
It's Boyle. It's
Okay.
it's Jason Boyle. So Jason Boyle, whose father was an attorney, started going by his father's name. I don't know what his father's name is, if it's also
Yeah.
Jason or not. But started going by his father's name,
Mm-hmm.
and also had AI draw up legal documents that would essentially make him a lawyer.
Right. It was the
His bar documents. and-
right. They AI faked his.
Yeah, he made fake documents.
Right, he
Just
made-
to say that he had passed the bar exam. He was licensed to operate and practice law.
We're moving from Photoshop to AI.
Yeah, honestly,
Pretty
he could have
much.
just photoshopped it.
Pretty much.
So he had AI drop all the documents, and then began taking court cases under his dad's name with these documents that said he was a lawyer, represented people in court, got paid for it,
yeah.
and during the process of the court hearings would rely on AI on how to proceed representing his clients.
That is so crazy.
Which, I mean, it probably gave really good advice.
I wonder how it worked out. It doesn't say his win. It only talks about 2 different cases in here.
Yeah, it doesn't give us KD.
Yeah,
it
it doesn't give us KD.
Doesn't give us KD.
I want to know if he's also an interesting caveat. They found out he was never. So the moral of the story: they found out this guy didn't have a license to operate law. He's on trial right now for it. They're waiting for a disbarment hearing and criminal prosecuting for
Right. Right.
He wasn't even
disbar.
barred.
Yeah, for
yeah, he wasn't even barred in the first place. How are they
pretending
gonna-
to be a lawyer.
That's so crazy.
So he's awaiting trial right now for pretending to be a lawyer and operating in a courtroom without a law degree.
Yeah.
Or being passed by the bar association.
So crazy. I wonder if they'll give him a bar exam just to like.
I hope he gets out of jail and
He-
takes a bar exam.
He will
Yeah.
probably be forever barred from
Yeah.
becoming
Oh,
a
I'm
lawyer.
sure, yeah.
100%.
Barred from the bar.
Realistically, yes, he'll be barred from the bar. But,
However,
like,
interesting caveat that I just thought of. He represented 2 people. If he lost those cases, could they then turn around and be like, wait a minute, this guy wasn't a fucking lawyer.
they could 100%.
Yeah.
This
Th-
is
this- you can't.
There's
you
a
can't-
term for that, but like where they realize in the case that the case is null and void, and
Yeah.
they can't. There's a term for it, and I forget what it is, but yeah, you 100%. You can be like, wait a minute,
This ruling needs thrown out because
Yeah.
I was told I was going to get a lawyer and I didn't get a lawyer.
yeah, 100%. They can do some shit like
So
that.
you can represent yourself in court. You can
Yes.
choose to represent yourself in court.
Yes.
That's a right we have.
Right.
Can I choose to have somebody who is not a lawyer represent me in court? If I went to court
Yeah,
tomorrow
probably.
for blowing something up that I shouldn't have,
Sure.
if I went to court tomorrow for doing that, could I be
Yeah.
like, they'd be like, hey, do you want to represent yourself? Do you want a court-appointed lawyer? Do you have a lawyer? I'd be like, no, I got Shane.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
And Shane
What's up,
came
guys?
in
I think you could.
and
I,
was using AI in
I
the
think-
courtroom.
I think you could, and I think furthermore, you could represent yourself and then use AI.
Anybody
think.
that he
Because it's anything at your disposal,
'Cause
and
it-
that's legal.
Because at
and
that
that's-
point, his only crime is, faking his identity
right?
and then practicing law without a license. Because it wasn't like, hey, my buddy Jason is doing this. It was, I'm hiring a lawyer.
Right. He could represent himself and just use AI again. He could.
So the AI part wasn't the crime, to our knowledge.
it
It was the fact that he
Yeah.
was pretending to be a lawyer.
Well, I feel like the AI part. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I think the AI isn't necessarily a full blown caveat because he wasn't a full blown lawyer. I think if a lawyer was using AI mid, I think that might be.
Yeah, I don't think you can be in the courtroom like with ChatGPT open. You
Right.
probably have to like do it between trials.
Well, and I don't even think that you could do that necessarily. I think that would be like that would hurt your credibility, you know? I think and it's just one of those things where I guess if people find out that you use AI as a lawyer, it could hurt your credibility.
So
but-
I looked up if you can use AI in court to represent yourself. Several federal judges have issued standing orders blocking or putting guidelines on the use of artificial intelligence over accuracy issues with technology. But a few legal scholars have raised concerns that the orders might discourage attorneys and self-representation from using AI.
So it's just discouraged.
Yeah.
It's not prohibited. It's just
There's
discouraged.
so it seems like kind of a court to court or city to city or level to level basis where
right.
some courts have blocked it and said no, you can't use AI,
Right.
and others just have guidelines as to how much or
Right.
what you can use it for.
Right. Like you can use it, but
if
only
you're
like
representing
this.
yourself, I don't think like you're actively on
Right, that's what we're saying. You're
ChatGPT.
not in the courtroom because you
Yeah.
can't have your technology in the courtroom anyway.
You're
Yeah,
either
right.
doing it like beforehand, prepping,
Yeah.
just having it give you general advice.
Yeah,
If-
right,
if
right.
you're willing to take the risk, okay, I guess here's the trade-off, right? You can't afford a lawyer.
Yeah.
You're going into a criminal case.
Yeah.
Either you are relying on a public defender
Mm-hmm.
or you're relying on yourself using ChatGPT and relying on ChatGPT not to give you misinformation.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. Those two options are so funny. Imagine having to legitimately contemplate that of like,
yeah,
do I do a point accorded or
court-appointed
court appointed lawyer, or do I do AI?
ChatGPT.
Is it do me and AI go into this thing?
Yeah.
That's so okay. I guess sure. Interesting.
It'd
would
be a
pick
lot
the,
harder. It'd be a lot harder to use AI.
Yeah,
even at a
you would-
surface level of, because again, you can't use it in the courtroom. Even at a surface level of, okay, here's what I think they're gonna try me with,
it would
and
be,
here's the evidence I think they're gonna use against me. So I have to think of the questions they might ask me, and how do I reply that with the law?
I think you'd already have to be pretty smart.
Yeah.
You'd already have to be like
Have
Which
prior knowledge of the law.
Oh, of
If
law
this guy's
and-
doing this, it seems like, and his dad's a lawyer, so it
Right.
seems like he probably understood law at least to a degree,
to where he
better
could-
than you and I.
Right. He probably understood law well enough to say that he could like word questions into ChatGPT and get the kind of answers that he
Yeah.
was looking for, you know? Like
I
he knew
wonder-
the wordy lingo to throw into ChatGPT and it would regurgitate it back.
Every single case is like, can we have a recess and go to the bathroom and use
Yeah,
ChatGPT
yeah.
to look up all the questions?
I wonder if he told his dad he went to like law school and like went to law school and like failed out.
Right,
And then like
Because this is
Right.
identity theft too.
yeah.
Yeah. And like I wonder,
If his dad gets in trouble,
did his dad know about it? Was his dad in on it with him?
did his
Was-
dad's win-loss go up and down and he was like, what the
Right.
fuck?
Right, is this affecting his dad's credibility as a lawyer in terms of like
It's
he's
his
getting
name.
he's getting more wins, so it's becoming a more credible law firm? I don't know. Like this is a very interesting and new dilemma.
I think
You
we
know?
have the wrong name of this guy.
Is it not Boyle?
I think it is
Nathan
Chambers. Yeah, you're right. It's Nathan Chambers.
Hmm.
Sorry, Jason Boyle.
Well, sorry,
it-
Jason.
it is
I
Nathan
believe
Chambers.
Nathan Chambers was giving Boyle's fiance
Yes,
like legal
yes.
advice.
Oh, wait.
Jason Boyle hired Nathan Chambers, the
Yes.
fake attorney, because it says that Chambers is still in custody right now, awaiting his trial for impersonating a lawyer
I
in two
saw-
counties. He's in two different trials right now, appointing two different counties. So
Hmm.
he's both of the courtrooms were the counties in which he practiced law.
Mm-hmm.
He is now on trial for practicing law in those counties.
Hot fucking potato.
So his dad is a attorney in South Carolina. His name is John Edward Chambers Jr.
So he was going.
So he
by
was
the-
going under John Chambers.
Yep.
So, yeah, I wonder how much is that. Was it a? Did you say this was it a different state that he was practicing?
No, it's the same state, just two different counties. He took two different cases in two different counties, and now both of the courts of those counties
are
have him on trial for
Right.
impersonating a lawyer.
double fucked.
He says, Chambers
then
says, I never meant to cause any trouble to the court. As I've watched my father and sister throughout my entire life practicing law, I wanted I didn't want my life to go down the drain. I kind of lost my mind a little bit, is the quote from Chambers.
Hold on. I am reading this, and it's actually insane. Chambers has prior drug-related convictions and is awaiting trial on a charge in Greenville County for impersonating a sheriff's deputy.
Bro!
The hell is this guy doing? This is like some plain. This is like Catch Me If You Can.
Guy thinks he's more for some shit.
This
like-
guy is doing Catch Me If You Can, where he's just taking a bunch of
Big jobs.
yeah, and trying to play it off like he is the sheriff deputy, and he's a doctor, and he's a lawyer,
His
and
dad
he's
must be so proud.
that's so crazy. This is literally like Catch Me If You Can. This guy's just impersonating big jobs.
Chambers' father, John Edward Chambers Jr., is a practicing attorney in South Carolina. He used to work at Truckland Thomas, a general practice in Greenville, until one of the firm's partners learned of his son's allegations in Greenville County.
Oh,
So
wow.
literally, the dude had to move jobs because they're like, "Hey, you know your son's fucking
Trying to be a
practicing
cop.
law under your name and is also impersonating a sheriff's deputy."
So, oh my god, this is crazy.
Is he awaiting? He has a conviction for impersonating the cop
Drug-related convictions.
and is awaiting
He's
trial,
awaiting
on
trial,
charges of
yeah.
sheriff's deputy.
He represented himself. Chambers represented
he?
himself in the contempt hearing.
Did he win?
But
Is he good?
has I don't know. But he has retained a lawyer to defend him on his criminal charges of impersonating a lawyer.
This dude got busted for pretending to be a sheriff's deputy and is like, well, I guess I'll need a lawyer.
Hey, I'm a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer
He's
now.
like,
Wait a
that
minute.
was pretty fun. Let me do it again.
Yeah. How could I forget I'm a lawyer?
He's got to be schizophrenic, right?
Something's
Something,
up.
dude.
Well, I mean,
Something's wrong.
He has
with
drug
him.
charges. Maybe he's just real, like,
Yeah,
fucked
maybe
up.
he's just bad off. Yeah, maybe he's just got a lot of drug problems and shit. This is so
It's so deeper than we thought.
right.
The-
This is crazy that it's even. It's cool that he's using, like, it's cool that it's a new issue that we are learning to resolve, but it's weird to watch it happen in real time.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if for stuff like this?
Hang on. You're telling me this guy took at least 2 court cases and no one found out that he wasn't a lawyer?
Right.
What the fuck is the legal department? What's the
Right.
justice system doing?
Do they not do background checks on like your legal?
You gotta look at
representation?
those judges and be like,
Yeah.
what were
Yeah.
you guys thinking?
Yeah, the judges in both of the cases that again, we only have 2 that are listed here.
Yeah.
One of them he fully completed, and it looks like the other one he was in the middle of when they found this
Yeah.
out.
That's imagine in the middle of your hearing, it's like,
You got to get a new lawyer.
yeah, your
Well,
lawyer is not a
lawyer.
not
The
a lawyer
judge
at all.
was concerned when he received like the paperwork or like initial paperwork, and
Yeah.
it was like 7 pages long. He said it usually is not
Yeah,
that.
Right. It's usually only a couple pages or something. like that.
Overcompensated.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, let me prove I'm a lawyer.
I promise.
Here's the written essay portion of the
I-
bar exam.
I promise I'm a lawyer. Look at all these words I wrote out. Yeah, this is just.
Do you think the case was thrown out that he's currently in?
Yeah, 100%.
There would have to be some kind of legal malpractice,
or at least, what do they do when they like freeze a court case and wait till later? Not recess. 'cause-
Adjourn? No, that's releasing for the day.
Yeah, I forget, but there's a term for it
Yeah.
where like they just kind of freeze the lawsuit or whatever and wait until a later date when they have the proper tools.
Right.
yeah,
Super,
when there's like a judge or something that has a
Postpone.
yeah,
that could be it actually,
yeah,
where they basically just like whole
Probably.
new court case.
yeah. Whole new court case. We're just gonna restart. We'll postpone this.
So on top of this,
Reconvene.
okay,
Yeah.
you're Jason Boyle.
I'm
You've-
Jason Boyle.
You're Jason Boyle.
Hello.
You've hired Nathan Chambers, posing as John Chambers,
Hello, John Chambers. I'm Nathan Chambers. I mean John Chambers.
to represent you in court
Yes.
in your wife's criminal trial.
Oh no.
And halfway through this, you realize that the lawyer that I paid
It's a criminal.
is not a lawyer and is also a
Oh
criminal.
God, I have 2 criminals on my hands.
So on top of you being mid-trial
yeah.
for one instance, you're probably going to court again
Oh.
to get your money back because you paid a criminal to
Yeah.
represent you in law.
Yeah.
So you're probably suing him and or the court.
Right now,
Yeah.
you have to go through the court system.
So you're in 2 active trials.
Right. It's probably cost so
Damn.
much money.
Yeah, this dude's out. This dude got the shit end of the stick.
He really
This
did.
Jason Boyle. I don't
He
know what his
really
wife did.
did.
I don't know if she's guilty or not. But like,
But this sucks for you.
yeah, at the
dude.
very end of the day, I feel bad at least for this guy having to pay all this.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fuck ton of money that you just lost because your attorney is not an attorney.
I wonder how like he reached out to him. Do you think he was? Because my thought, he's using his dad's name.
Yes.
So do you think he tried to reach out to his dad at this law firm he was working at the time,
That's a possibility.
Maybe depends on. Well,
and
that's
got the son
that's-
because he looked up the dad's name?
here's the other thing though. Like this guy who's impersonating his dad isn't actually like in any law firm. You know, he's
Yeah.
not walking around. He doesn't have a
Right.
desk at a law firm or anything like that.
Well,
He's
I'm
just
saying like this Jason guy specifically went to look up
his dad.
his dad.
Right,
and,
right.
like just by searching him came across.
him and called
Yeah.
Came,
him.
like,
Yeah,
across
came
his
across his
Facebook
number,
page,
yeah.
and it says lawyer.
Probably something like that, yeah, I guess, and just took a really sketchy route when he should have probably.
Evan says it's Jason Bourne. I've never seen the Bourne Legacy movies.
I saw
Is
one
this,
of
is
them.
this the premise of them?
No, I don't think
Okay, well,
so. Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like that you can just accidentally have an AI lawyer now. Like, oh, sorry, he's fake. This guy.
this
who's
guy's
been,
a criminal.
Yeah,
right.
Shouldn't he have a probation officer or something, or like somebody that's checking up on him while he's awaiting trial? Like
You would
that
think.
he shouldn't be able to commit other crimes
This
Yeah,
while
right.
awaiting for trial.
Literally got busted for pretending to be a fucking deputy, and is like, I'm gonna be a lawyer.
Yeah,
now.
I got to do something else next.
Time for a career change.
Yeah, I got to really turn my life around.
And the worst part is he was successful at it.
Yeah, right. He did it
He do?
twice
I
at
want
least.
to know how long, like how many people did he pull over as a deputy? Like how much crime did he
Imagine.
fight as a deputy before they
Imagine.
found out?
Imagine. That's so awesome.
The amount of like overturn they're gonna have to do because of this guy.
Yeah, I love this guy, I think.
Here's
I
my new
think
theory.
He's so awesome now. He just did whatever he wanted and
He-
got away with it twice.
There's a picture of him, by the way. If you what's his name, Nathan Chambers.
Yeah.
If you look him up, there's a picture of him in this case, and he looks like a fake lawyer.
He kind of looks like Drake Bell.
A little bit.
Just a
Yeah.
little
He
bit.
looks like that one dude from The Office.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he has a drug problem.
He looks
He looks like he bought a cheap suit at Walmart and is like gonna review food on YouTube.
He looks AI. He looks like
He
he's
is
AI.
AI.
He looks
I
like
don't even know if
he's
this is the
AI.
real guy. It is the real guy. It has the credit on it, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I'm like, I feel bad. There's a stock photo, and I'm just
Yeah.
shitting on this dude.
Yeah, how do you...
Here's my new theory, real quick. He, as the sheriff's deputy, quote unquote, gave this criminal charge. He's the one that initiated this and was like, "Hey, if you need a lawyer, I know a guy." And then showed up to court in a suit.
Hey.
I said, "Aren't you the deputy?" No.
Nah, that's not me.
Then-
No. Yeah.
No, because he probably had a different name.
Yeah.
I just like the judges. What were the judges thinking when this guy pulled up and they're like,
He
you're a
made
new
it through
face.
the entire fucking court case without anyone knowing.
Yeah, like you're a new face. I guess I'll just let you.
I don't blame him for going into a second one. He's like, "Damn, I
Right.
got away with that pretty fucking easy."
Right.
I was literally in the courtroom.
'Cause
and
that's
they
the
didn't
thing.
know that I'm
It-
a criminal.
If I get through one court case, fine. I'm smooth sailing through the rest of them. I'm like, well, I made it through one. No one's gonna know.
It's weird that both of his crimes are trying to get into law.
Right, and he didn't do it officially.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
We sure this isn't Hunter Biden? we sure
Yeah.
this isn't the same fucking story here. Seems very similar.
This guy's all AI right now.
This dude took a bunch of drugs and went, "I can't be doing this.
I
I got to get in the family business."
I have to work in law. I need to.
He just really didn't want to go to school for anything.
So you said it was drug charges, right?
Yeah, he had
Yeah, he had
drug-related
drug charges.
charges.
Did they say what the drugs were? What the fuck's this guy
I
on
feel like
right now?
he's
It's
a
gotta be on some pretty good
cocaine
stuff,
guy,
right?
The rich
Something,
do
bro.
cocaine.
I don't.
I don't think he's
understand.
rich.
Well, his dad's a lawyer.
I just don't understand.
He probably grew up like entitled and whatever.
It's the age of the internet. How did he think he was going to get away with this?
Right.
How did he think that this way?
He did.
He's using the internet to his advantage.
Yeah.
How did he think that this would not catch up to him at some point? I just don't.
I don't understand how people think they're gonna get away with identity theft ever. Period is the weird thing.
Yeah, and well, it's crazy to me that people do.
Yeah.
And like, it'll be a completely different looking person in a completely different part of the world, and it works. I don't know.
But this dude just went for his dad.
Yeah, right. He was like, well, that's
Like,
easy.
The family could have caught on to that real quick.
Yeah, right. What is his family? What does his dad think of this? What was mom, his siblings?
His law family, his
Yeah.
sister and father, who both practice law, weren't like, hey, why does it say dad's name on all of your shit?
And I wonder how quickly this all took place. Like, did he take 2 cases in like a 6-month span? You know what I mean?
I really hope he won the fucking first one.
Yeah, I hope he
Well, it
won
had to
any
have
of
been
them.
quick.
I'd
like,
say he probably didn't, but
Yeah,
if he's awaiting trial for his impersonating a police officer, like
yeah,
just drove to a different fucking county. He's like, I'm a lawyer here.
right.
it had to have been like pretty quickly going, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
This dude's on trial in 3 different counties
you-
right now.
Could you imagine like being a criminal, walking into the courtroom and like pretending you're not a criminal?
yeah.
Not only that, you're
Getting away
pretending-
with it.
getting away with it by pretending you're the person that puts the criminal away.
Yeah, this is so
Twice,
wild.
cop and lawyer.
He did this
Picks
so
2
well.
of probably the worst professions to fake.
Yeah.
Like the only thing he's missing is faking he's a surgeon.
But the thing is,
Like this dude's about to turn up at the fucking university hospital tomorrow and be like, I'm ready for brain surgery.
it worked for at
And they'll
least
be like,
a
all right,
little
Dr.
bit.
Chambers.
It kind of at least worked a little bit, you know? Like he kind of worked a little bit. He got away with it for the first time for a little bit, and then he got caught, and he's like, "Well, what's next? What can I? That
Hey.
one worked. What do I do now?" I like it. I think
Is
it's
he a
both.
dumbass or is he a genius?
I think he's
I think he's both.
yeah.
I think
He's-
the hard truth is that he's both.
He's not smart enough to pull it off, but he was smart enough to think of it.
Right.
Good in theory, not in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think probably, and that's the other thing too.
Relatively good in practice.
I think it with a little more prep and a little more like, because he is in a very ideal situation of, well, let me just take my father's name and work in law.
He could have done it well.
I think that he probably could have done it a little bit more secretively and better, and it might have worked.
Not that we're advocating for crime.
Right. Not that we're
And identity
advocating-
theft.
Right. I just think that it might work. It could have worked if he stuck it out a little longer.
216-859-8699 is the number to text in. Let me know if you think it would have worked. Of course, we're live every Monday right here on WSRR Radio, Saving the Underground Music Scene, the Rebel Radio Show. 5 p.m. every Monday turns into the Rebel Podcast every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, all major platforms. Spotify, Google, TuneIn, YouTube, Amazon, Anchor, iHeart. What's the one with the P?
Tune in.
No, that starts the T.
Peacock.
Not Peacock.
Ooh.
Pandora.
There you
Anywhere
go.
you get podcasts,
Popcorn.
you get the Rebel Podcast. 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Eastern every Wednesday. Holy shit! Tell them about off air.
That's my show, and you can listen to it on WSRR Radio.
You can also get all of our other shows, scheduled showtimes and more, WSRRradio.com. Of course, the homepage for live radio. That's WSRR Radio. Did you get that part yet?
Oh, yeah.
You should have got that part by now. You can also join the Discord server and chat with us there. I think I'm going to open up a Marvel discussion and theory
Dude.
tab in the Discord
Yeah.
server.
Do it.
So look forward to that if you're in that fan
Can we
base.
get a law advice?
No,
Yeah.
no, we can't. Actually, legally, we
Yeah.
can't. Anyway, 216-859-8699. You know the schedule, showtimes, and more. I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Stoughton. We're right, Shinny.
Bye, bro.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Don't commit crimes.